Alright, so we've got our front center mast here. It's got the slots. There is a front and a back to this. See the little hole here for the hex nut is the back side. And then we've got our bottom canvas support here, and then our large barrel nut with hex screw. It's got the hex top here. So what I'm going to do is remove the little barrel, and it goes into the back side hole here of the slot, and you want to make sure that this slotted side is facing outward. And of course the hole will need to be facing up and down, so you'll have to get a flathead screwdriver to keep this in place. Now this is the back side, so we'll have to flip over this back part here, and then the bolt slides into this, goes into this hole under here, all the way through it up into the top. And there's this little hole in the bottom of this that the bolt slides onto. So I've kind of used my finger to hold that in place. And then so what I'll do is hold that steady with the one hand, and then using the hex nut with the other hand, tighten this. So for the next part you'll need this part here, and this part, and then 2 of these braces, and it comes with 4, but you'll notice that on one end they've all kind of got this indented slot, but then on the other end only 2 of them have the indented slot. 2 of the other 2 do not. And I believe for this part here we need the 2 bars that have both, have 2 slotted ends, and then we'll need 4 screws. You want to make sure that the indented slotted part is facing outward so that the screw head sinks down into it. What I've done was I laid out these parts, these 2 side legs here. You can see that they've each got kind of this curved tops to them, and then slots on the inside, and then holes on the outside. And you can kind of tell the bottoms of the legs here are angled, so you know which side goes where. Then I've got this middle adjustable bracket bar here set up. Now this bottom bar is going to slide onto the bottom of this part. and there's no screw or anything holding that in as far as I know. I believe it'll just attach to these sides here. And then you, according to the diagram, it looks like this part here that we just got done assembling, it's got a slot underneath there. It fits right in top part of this here. And then these bars will slide into those slots there, and we'll put some screws in there to attach that. So I've taken the bag of these 4 hex bolts here, unscrewed one of them, and then I've got this long side leg here with a hole in it that I'm going to stick this through, and then that will slide into there. Now on the back side of this bottom support is where your receiving end goes. So you'll need to drop that in there and make sure that lines up. I'm keeping all these bolts, towards the back so we don't see them. So I'll have to flip this over. Slide all that in there together. Make sure that's my bolt. It's lined up and screwed in there correctly. Okay, so I got that bottom support bar attached there. Need to get the top bar attached up there. So I need to go ahead, I think, slide, and I'm turning this over because I'm using this as my back side. Hopefully that's right. And I'm going to slide this slotted front piece into the slot on that bottom brace bar. You'll see the other slot up here. So I'm taking this piece, flipping it over because I'm working now on the back side, and this all needs to slide together here. Alright, so I got them slid together, and now I've got to use my other 2 bolts here to attach this bar to these 2 angled sidebars here. Same way we've been doing them. I'm going to go ahead and drop this down in here with the slotted side up. Okay, so I flipped it over, so we're looking at the front side now, and I want to put these 2 other brace bars here. It looks like one end will attach to the front part, and then the other is adjustable, and it'll attach into this slotted part here. And I believe we'll be using these last 2 screws to attach it fixed up here at the top. So for the bottom part, the slotted part here, we'll be using this one longer bolt with the adjustable nut on it, and it'll slide all the way through that slot to the other side. So I've got my brace here, one with the indented end and the other end not indented. And so I'm going to use these little screws here for the top part and the indented side. Screw them into the fixed part. And this part probably should have been done ahead of time. So we're kind of at a weird angle here trying to screw this thing in. So this was definitely a step that I had skipped. And you could get a shorter Phillips head screwdriver that'll fit inside here, a little stubby, to get that, screw this in a little bit easier. Went ahead and inserted my screw. Slide this through one end through the slot and bring it through the other side here. Attach the washer and then the adjustable nut here. So at this point I need to grab one of these knobs and one of these brass plates. I take this brass plate and knob, stick the brass plate into these. It's got 2 holes, 2 pins. Slide it in here. Take the knob and screw it into the back hole back here. A little loose right now. Then I want to take the center mast part here with the canvas support at the bottom. I'm going to take this, get that slid in there, and then just kind of lay it down. At this point it's just kind of loose here. But what I'm going to do is then I'm going to take this whole thing, kind of lay it face down on the floor. So now at this point we can start to attach the parts down here that are needed. We've still got this piece here to put on with the 4 screws. Tightening these all the way just yet. So I've got my U bracket here with the angle part facing downward. Set it up there. Move this part down. So I've got some room down here to hold. Here the notched part as I slide this down. Let's get some. So I'm going to take these hex bolts here, springs. Spring kind of looks like it has a top and a bottom there. So I'm going to slide bolt down into the spring. Stick it down into the hole here. Again, we're going to make sure our little nut is lined up vertically. See, and then slide it right into the hole down in here. Pop it in. Do the same thing for the other side. So again, I'm going to hold this bottom bolt, push it in as far as I can, and hold it steady with my flathead screwdriver. And then with the Allen wrench up here, push down on this bolt, make sure it's lined up, go down in the hole, and then as we're mashing down on it, we want to turn, try to get it to catch. Tight these are supposed to be. I'm going to tighten them down a little bit. Imagine we have the springs in there so we can give this a little bit of play. So I'm going to stand it up. Make sure this part of it works, the adjustable part, so if we pull out on that, we can move this up and down. Alright, so the last part we have then is this top part. To hold the top part of the canvas on the, we still got one of these brackets, place that in here, and then a handy knob, and looks like this will go right up here. Go in here. There. This nice tilting feature, and then you can, once you get it into place, you can tighten that down to secure it in that position.